Hi, my name is Dawn Mabry Chestnut, and I'm a certified financial planner and an accredited investment fiduciary. In these short videos, I share brief tips on investing and retirement planning. Please know that this information and these clips are for general educational purposes only, and it is not intended to be personal financial advice. In particular, we're going to be talking about annuities that are within 401k plans for this video. So, as an employed worker, you may have seen already, and you may begin seeing even more moving forward this move of putting annuities into a 401k plan. And what this allows the worker to do is that once they get closer to retirement age, taking a portion of what is in that 401k, they can take the entire 401k or a portion of it, and turn a portion of it into use the funds to buy an annuity that is located within that 401k. So, like I said, it's becoming an increasing trend to start seeing them. You may be seeing them already. I'm actually making this video because in next year, 2026, there is a big player in the investment field that is also introducing this option into one of their target date funds. So that's why I'm making this, sharing this information, because you are just going to likely begin to see this more and more as we move forward. And so, for individuals who are not familiar with an annuity offers something that typically the stock market cannot offer. And what that is usually a predictable income stream that is isolated from market losses. Um, and while only a handful of providers are having such annuities inside their 401k or their target date funds, more and more employers are starting to do that. So, what does this mean for um, workers, and particularly older workers? That means that they potentially have something, a tool that is very powerful for them. And like I said earlier, it's the option to move a portion of that 401k savings into an annuity. And an annuity is an insurance contract that turns a lump sum payment into a guaranteed monthly income for life. So, you know, gone are the days where we see lots of pensions like we used to some generations back. So this is sort of getting at that lack of pension that used to be more prevalent, that just doesn't pretty much exist very much anymore. That's kind of what this is getting at by putting this annuity option in the 401k. With getting such a product, uh, an individual must understand what the trade offs are. So, in the stock market, if you're transitioning some of that 401k savings into an annuity that is located within that 401k, that target date fund, what is the trade off is that you're potentially foregoing potential higher returns that you might see in the market. And I say potential because we don't know what the market is going to do. We hope potentially in the future it will be higher. So you're trading that versus a predictable stream of income, and just feeling more secure in retirement, that you will not run out of money during retirement. So understand that that is ultimately the trade off that is happening here, as you make that decision on whether or not to go with transitioning some of your 401k funds into an annuity option that you may be seeing. So there are some pros and cons. So in addition to possibly foregoing higher stock market returns, there are some other things you should watch out with the annuity. Number one is that an annuity can be a complicated uh, product. Um, One of the things certainly that you will likely see is that the annuity will come with a higher cost and added complexity. The other thing you should watch out for, especially if you're comparing different types of target date funds that may have annuities in them, comparing the target date funds that use different types of annuities, that can be tough. So just make sure you're looking out for, when you're looking in those target date funds, that you're understanding what type of annuity product that target date fund might be offering. Some other details that will matter a great deal if you are considering this option of using some of your 401k savings to buy an annuity is that understanding when your annuity payment will begin. There's such a thing called an immediate annuity and a deferred annuity, and other types of annuities as well. But those two specifically speak to when the payment will begin. So just make sure you understand when the payment will begin, the annuity payment. How large will the annuity payment be? What is the size of that annuity payment? And whether or not you can use some of that, get some of that annuity payment back under certain circumstances. Those are some features that are typical in some annuities. Um, if you're married, you also want to consider, if you're considering an annuity, if you want some of that income to continue for a spouse. And also, if you plan to leave some of the annuity income to a non spouse heir after your passing. So consider those things as well if that's something you want. Another key thing is that most annuities are not inflation adjusted. They're not adjusted for inflation increasing. So that means in the future, if your payment, let's just use a easy number, $1,000 in 2025, 10 years down the road in 2035, there's going to be inflation. So that $1,000 that you get in 2025 will buy less in 2035, 10 years later, due to inflation. So keep those sorts of things in mind. If you can find an annuity that can be inflation adjusted, great. But just keep that in mind. Um, Also, I want you to watch out for that some of the 401k plans, they will automatically um, initiate the annuity purchase unless you opt out of it. So within your 401k plans, make sure you are reading those documents to understand what features are there, what investment options are there, and if there is an annuity option in that 401k plan or in that target date fund, you want to make sure you understand if you have to proactively take measures, fill out paperwork to purchase the annuity, or if it will be automatically purchased for you unless you opt out. So keep an eye out on that. And last but not least, um, nothing's perfect. And the annuity in a 401k, it's not, going to be perfect as well. The key is to understanding what the trade offs are. What are you giving up from just straight investing versus this guaranteed income payment for life? Weighing those balances, understanding that trade off, and just making sure that whatever you choose, annuity or not, making sure that the options you are choosing for your retirement, that they are the best fit for you, because what works for one person may not work for the next person. I just want to say thank you so much for listening in to this episode um, where we discuss information on investment and retirement planning. If you want to learn more about me and my firm, you can scan the QR code on the screen. Thank you.